6-Mile Cypress Slough Preserve, a tour of the slough through the lens of a novice. So what exactly is a slough? A slough is a long, narrow wetland with slowly floating water. 6-Mile Cypress Slough Preserve is over 3,500 acres of intermingled wetland and upland ecosystems, and it acts as a natural corridor for wildlife. The appearance of the slough changes with the seasons from dry, October to May, to wet, June through September. Animals have adapted to life in the wetlands and live in the slough throughout the year. Come, take a walk with me through the slough and see what kinds of flora and fauna live in this mixed ecosystem. Some of the trees and plants of the slough include the bald cypress, the cabbage palmetto, the saw palmetto, and the slash pine. Fun fact about the saw palmetto: in the spring, 3-foot-long flower stalks appear, sporting small, yellow-white, fragrant flowers. Bees are attracted to these flowers, making high-grade saw palmetto honey. Some other trees and plants that I saw are the alligator flag, the blue mist flower, the buttonbush, and the Carolina ash. Fun fact about the buttonbush: its seeds are a source of food for several species of waterfowl, especially the mallard duck. White-tailed deer may browse the buttonbush, although the wilting leaves are toxic to livestock. I also saw a Christmas lichen, a climbing aster, some common lichen, and some fructose lichen. Fun fact about the Christmas lichen: like most lichens, is a unique organism created by algae and fungi that grow together, using each other to survive. The red and green colors of the Christmas lichen give it the appearance like a Christmas wreath, for which it is named. I also saw a dallyhoon holly, fireweed, giant leather fern, and yellow mustard polypore. The fireweed, fun fact, the name fireweed comes from its ability to colonize areas burned by fire rapidly. It was one of the first plants to appear after the eruption of Mount St. Helens in 1980. I also saw a pond apple, a red maple, a resurrection fern, and a romarillo. Fun fact about the resurrection fern: in 1997, the resurrection fern was taken into space aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery to watch its resurrection in zero gravity. The last group of plants and trees that I saw at the slough are spatterdock, swamp fern, tooth midsorus fern, and a wax myrtle. So, fun fact about the wax myrtle: the aromatic compound in wax myrtle helps to repel insects, including ticks. The waxy cones are high-energy food sources for birds in the winter, attracting and holding migratory warblers. So, birds and fish friend of the slough. So in my family, we like to name birds and fish with proper names. So you're going to meet some of my friends by their proper names. I met Annie Anhinga, Sir Galahad the black-crowned heron, Gracie the common gallinule, and Greta the common grackle. So fun fact about gallinules: the common gallinule has exceptionally long toes, allowing it to walk on soft mud and floating vegetation. Although these long lobes don't have webbing, the granules are very good swimmers. Some other fish and birds that I saw are Gary the Florida gar, Flossie the glossy ibis, Esther the great egret, and Larry the limpkin. So a fun fact about my friend Larry the limpkin: limpkins are named after the way that they walk and sound. They seem to limp as they walk across uneven wetland surfaces. Florida is the northern edge of their range. Few more of my bird and animal friends are Loretta the little blue heron, Jackson the lubber grasshopper, Lupe the Mayan cichlid, and Martha the mourning dove. So a little bit about Martha. Martha the mourning dove eats roughly 12 to 20% of her body weight per day, which is on average about 71 calories. The last of my friends that I met at the slough are Harriet the red-shouldered hawk, Tipsy the tricolored heron, and Willow the wood duck. Fun fact about my friend Tipsy, angsty teenagers aren't just a human phenomenon. As tricolored herons get older, they often lunge and snap at their parents when they arrive to the nest with food. To appease these youngsters, parents often greet these teens with a bow. I leave you from my trip on the slough with some thoughts from Helen Keller in Chief Seattle on the beauty of nature and how it must be nurtured so that future generations can enjoy its wonder. So according to Helen Keller, the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. And to quote Chief Seattle, we don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. Thank you for joining me on this tour through the slough. I hope you'll join me next time as we explore the paths of Florida Gulf Coast University.